Hi again! This is what I've made this time. A vest with a cool lacing detail on the sides and a hood. To make this I cut out these pieces, 2 front pieces, 1 back piece and 2 hood pieces, one set of these in a pinstripe fabric and another set with a light grey lining fabric. I started by sewing up the hood, first the long seam at the back and serged the outer fabric and the lining piece. Then I turned the hood fabric and the lining fabric right sides together so I could sew the long seam at the front. After that I turned it right sides facing out and finished the hood piece by serging the bottom part shut and sewing a straight stitch along the edge of the front seam of the hood, a few millimeters from the edge. Then I have the hood all ready. Here's how I sewed the front pieces. I left an opening at the shoulder seam so that I could just turn the whole thing around itself and I'd get clean seams. Also note that when you use grommets you need to use some sort of a stabilizer. I used an iron-on stabilizer which I attached to the pinstripe fabric, seeing that that would be the outer layer and I'd like it to stay as smooth as possible around the grommets. I sewed both of the front pieces exactly the same. Just remember to leave an opening at the shoulder seams so that you have a way of pulling the pieces inside out. Here is how one of the front pieces ended up looking. I've brightened this image a bit, so you can see the hole I left in the shoulder seam. I sewed the back piece exactly the same way as the front pieces. Just remember to leave the opening and to add stabilizer where you're gonna use the grommets. After sewing the parts, I serged them so that they would be neat when I turned the pieces inside out, right sides facing out. When I have serged all the pieces, I turn them right sides out, pin them so that the seams lay flat and neat, and sew a stay stitch all around the pieces a few millimeters off the edge. So now I'm turning the piece inside out. You will need to poke around the corners a bit if you want it to be very straight. I just used my finger. You could also use something like a ruler or something. Anything that fits through the shoulder seam and is pointy. And then I just put all the pins I had into making this thing flat. Next, I just sewed all around the edges of the parts, 1 millimeter or 2 from the edge, a nice pretty stay stitch. When the parts are all done, you just need to attach them together. The back piece and the front pieces need to be sewn together at the shoulder seams, and after they are together, you can sew on the hood. Just measure the center back of the back piece and put the center back seam of the hood at that same spot. Put the fabrics right sides together and sew the hood on. And next step is adding the grommets! First you punch the holes and then you punch the grommets there. Here I'm just putting in some markings so I know where I want the holes to be. I did this with a Sharpie, but I think it might be okay because it's in the lining, so no one will notice anyway. I got this amazing tool for adding grommets from my brother's house spouse as a short loan, and I really need one of my own. It just costs so much. But this is the easiest way to attach grommets, so now I'll be doing much more lacings and maybe even those corsets I've been dreaming about. First I used the hole making part of the tool and I made all the holes. After that I added the grommets with a different part that is for setting grommets. Adding grommets has never been easier. I love how they turned out. And can you see how fast this is? Okay, I did speed it up a little bit, but still, just twist and turn and then they're in! Oh my god! The holes turned out amazing, didn't they? Oh, look at my pretty little holes. Look at them, just look at them. After I have put in all the holes, I change the jaws of the grommet tool. It doesn't take much time since the lower part is just a snap-on and the upper part is attached by a screw, so it doesn't fall off. When Mari lent me this tool, she told me not to squeeze too hard, so here I am being way too careful with the tool. But I actually did snap a few of the white grommets, so they don't take as much beating as the silver ones you can see over here. Yay, no breakage, and everything is perfect. Yay! And as you can see here, I'm using the two-part grommets. They have the hat part and the ring part. I definitely like the two-parted grommets better. They're neater and they're much more gentle towards my skin. I decided on this purple lacing, which I added, and you guys all know how to lace things, right? I don't think I need to explain that more than it is explained on the video here. But this is my completed project. What do you think? What do you think? I love it. I think it turned out great. But what do you think? Should I be embroidering something on the back there? Because I think the back might look a bit blank, but oh, well, that is pinstripe fabric, so maybe it doesn't mean anything. What do you think? Yay or nay? I don't know at all. Well, thank you for stopping by and don't forget to DIY. See you later.